ZipRecruiter matches your job to the right candidates fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/block for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/block.
Alfalfa leaf, aloe vera, apples, asparagus, raspberry, spinach, all of the nutrients.
You know, it's been barely a week, and already my skin is better.
I lost 60 pounds. I mean, that's huge.
Since I've been on superfood, I haven't been sick.
It's borderline shocking how much energy I have.
Thousands of people take my Texas Superfood every day. Join us on TexasSuperfood.com.
TexasSuperfood.com.
Or call 877-55-TEXAS. That's 877-55-TEXAS. 877-55-TEXAS. Or
TexasSuperfood.com.
Ransomware is software that can infiltrate your business through email, enabling cyber criminals to hijack sensitive information as ransom for your own data's release. Leveraging Barracuda email security with advanced threat detection can stop a ransomware attack in its tracks. As an added measure, Barracuda Backup allows you to recover your data without having to surrender to extortion. Crime doesn't pay when you protect your business data with Barracuda. Go to barracuda.com/ransomware to learn more.
You owe over $10,000 in back taxes. You've called every tax firm out there. They all say the same thing, making promises they never keep. And you're sick of it. What you really need is a new start on your back taxes. If you're faced with garnishments, levies, audits, or years of unfiled tax returns, we'll fight to get you the new start you deserve. Call 1-800-312-9970. Our New Start program could stop collection efforts, remove any liens the IRS has in place, and help you reduce your back taxes by as much as 80%. That's right, 80%. Don't wait until another tax season ends and another year of penalties and interest are added to your balance. If you owe at least $10,000 to the IRS and need a new start on your back taxes, call 1-800-312-9970. That's 1-800-312-9970. Let the professionals at Coast One Financial Group fight to get you the new start you deserve. Again, that's 1-800-312-9970.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-240-0069. That's 800-240-0069. Again, 800-240-0069.
If you are behind on your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt or medical bills forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. It's not bankruptcy, it's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven. Call for your free forgiveness information now. 800-291-6670. That's 800-291-6670. Don't wait. Call 800-291-6670. Not available in North Dakota.
WRIE Erie and W242CU Erie, CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260. Sponsored by Bianchi Honda. Open 24/7 at BianchiHonda.com.
Now, text the word RICH to 62582. That's RICH, R-I-C-H, to 62582. 4K a day. CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260.
WRIE Erie and W242CU Erie, CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260. Sponsored by Bianchi Honda. Open 24/7 at BianchiHonda.com.
What's poppin', Erie Otters fans? Welcome into the Erie Insurance Arena and to Otters Hour here on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260. I'm Aaron Cooney, and I'll be your host here as we venture into our hour program all about the Erie Otters. We'll go around the league. We'll check up with alumni. We'll preview the weeks ahead, recap what we've seen so far in such a young Ontario Hockey League season just getting underway. With us 2 weeks in the Otters, for the start of the season, off to a little slow start, but I think the message that we have continued to receive has been it's a process that's been preached by Chris Hartsburg going forward, but a lot of changes for this team as they've been well documented from us and from other pundits around the Ontario Hockey League. But for today's show, we're not looking at too much business as we sit up top the Erie Insurance Arena. And practice going on actually right here in front of us. And we'll take a look at some of the lines and combinations we have going on as Chris Hartsburg, BJ Adams, and Wes Wolf get things together and can work with the group. But on this show, we're going to sit down with Taylor Radish and Kyle Maximovich and chat with those guys to get a little behind-the-scenes look at some of their favorite things to do away from the rink, on the bus, how they pass time, and we'll also talk about an upcoming road trip, a themed road trip for the Erie Otters. It's coming up close to Halloween, and the guys on the bus will be wearing costumes for the trip to Owen Sound next week. We're also preview the week. We're going to talk with Mike Farwell, the play-by-play voice of the Kitchener Rangers. The Otters, having seen Kitchener already once, that was the home opener. We'll get to that in a little bit. Just this past Saturday. But it's right back on the road, and they'll go visit the Kitchener Rangers Friday night at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium for a second matchup with the Midwest Division League leader right now in the Kitchener Rangers. And then finish things up, we'll take a look around with NHL season starts tonight. How the Otters and their alumni have been on the move and set on some NHL teams as well, and we will go through that and see where the Otters are landing in the show a little bit later on. But now we'll look back at the week that was for the Erie Otters. And starting first, Erie making their first trip to the Meridian Center. One of 5 OHL home openers they were a part of to start this season. Of course, the opening road trip up through Eastern Ontario, coming back, preparing for their own home opener, and then starting things off in St. Catharines, Ontario, and a stop with the Niagara Ice Dogs, Erie's closest rival. And with that one, a tough loss for Erie. Kind of fell off the rails in that third period. But back into the second, we got the scoring started. It would begin with the Ice Dogs at 16:45, and Daniel Singer getting things on its way.
Rung forward onto the right wing, and out of the zone goes Singer. He's going to collect his own attempted pass and puts it in on the backhand. That's one that Troy Timpano want to have back, but Daniel Singer with his first of the season, and it's 1-0 Niagara.
Yeah, Daniel Singer opening up the scoring to make it 1-0, but the Otters, they've done this in a few times in their first few games, and that was coming right back and getting on the board and knotting things up quickly after the other team scored, and it'd be Kyle Maximovich for the Erie Otters, making it a 1-1 tie.
They recover, and Zlahid knocks it into the deflected play to the near wall. Wayman will hold in from the blue line. They find Maximovich. Lets it go. He scores. Treat yourself. Kyle Maximovich goes under the bar and down, and Erie ties it up at 1.
Yeah, all tied up at 1. Maximovich for the Otters with his second of the season. And had Erie, going into that after a 17-shot second period, Erie was out shooting the Niagara Ice Dogs. They looked a little lethargic to start the game, but coming back and heading to that third, it seemed pretty evenly matched. But then just a fluky goal coming just 2.5 minutes in from Kyle Langdon that put Niagara up and for good.
Ladnia takes control of the faceoff and wants to go try to do it all himself. Got around one man, but runs into McPherson, and Erie loses the biscuit. It's brought the other way. 4 men strong for Niagara. Let the wrist shot go. They sweep it towards the net, and it ends up in the goal. Initial shot came from the right wing side. Timpano makes the save. It kicks off of a skate in front, off the near side post, and then off of Timpano, who moved left to right and trickles across the line. And it's 2-1 Niagara. You talk about a game of pinball, you had it right there. And it's going to be Langdon. It went off of his skate before the post and Timpano. And Langdon.
That's Kyle Langdon for the Niagara Ice Dogs, and he's kind of been a pest even last year in his rookie season against the Otters in a couple of games. So he gets his first of the season, and then they just poured it on after that. 2 more goals. You'll start with Akil Thomas, and just a seeing eye shot through a lot of traffic. Timpano, there's 6 players in front of him, 4 Otters, and 2 Ice Dogs, and the screen from Johnny Corneal would prove to be the killer.
Thomas takes over out of the corner. Joe Roberts. Nice little no-look pass to Akil Thomas, who gives to the front. Picked up there. Singer waiting to the front. It's going to come off the blue line. One-time drive by Roberts sails off the glass. Erie hemmed in here for a bit. That blue line's been out for a little while since we returned from the break. There's a shot from the blue line. They score. It's Akil Thomas who let it loose. Lots of bodies in front. Timpano never saw it. 3-1 Niagara.
Yeah, and then they'd add one more late and a 5-on-3 power play goal. So Niagara takes the game and is a 4-1 final, and then returning right back to take on the Kitchener Rangers. And, you know, for the Otters into that game, and it seems like just small little blips during an evening kind of derails their opportunity in a game. And I think you saw that first night, and then here the next day against the Kitchener Rangers, the home opener for the Erie Otters, and what a blast that was. The video playing, you had the whole team come back to the ice, the introduction. You had the trophy presented back onto the ice before the banner goes up with Roy Milacher and Jim Waters here in-house to bring that there. That great photo op coming down from the near side corner, at least from my view. And then the banner goes up with the little highlight recap video from that run that was for the Erie Otters in their second championship. And when we got to the game, well, it didn't quite go as planned for the Otters, and I think maybe they got caught up in some of the hoopla to begin the game, because it was Kitchener early with a couple of goals that got them going, starting first with Joseph Gareff on the power play.
Looking for Stanley. Has Masker left wing side at the circle. Cross-ice pass. They score. Gareffa seals the deal on the beautiful feed from Adam Maskrin, and the Rangers open things up. It's 1-0.
Yeah, that I'm marveling at it too. That pass from Adam Maskrin was just a thing of beauty. Threading a needle from the near side circle through the Otters PK unit, and Gareffa buries it at the right wing circle. Maskrin, one to watch here for this season, coming off a 100-point year, just behind the 2 leading scorers last season in Alex DeBrincat and Taylor Radish, and with a Kitchener team that we're going to talk to Mike Farwell about a little bit later on when he joins us for the show. But they feel they have a pretty good roster and a chance to make things happen here in this season with the changing of the guard in the OHL. But still, Saturday night in that home opener to the Kitchener Rangers at 9:53, they add on some more, and it's going to be Jake Henderson with his second of the season on some good forechecking work from the Kitchener Rangers that caught the Otters a bit stunned.
Give it to the blue line. Connor Hall, his shot deflected just wide. McHugh is right in front, battling in front. Henderson will score.
Yeah, Henderson with a couple other Kitchener Rangers on that play that tied up the Otters' defense, and that puck sailed right out in front to a wide open Henderson with the Otters, well, tied up with Nick McHugh at the time. And it's a 2-0 lead. But the Otters could cut it in half there late on a 4-on-2 rush. Maybe Garrett Podubny getting the Erie Otters on the board.
Up the near wall. A 3-on-2 for Erie. Here's Max Golod. Sandbrook makes it a 4th man. Podubny cuts in front. Wrist shot, scores! Gee, up from the feet, up. Garrett Podubny cuts the lead in half.
Podubny with his second of the season. And that was right before the period expired, so you're feeling pretty good about yourselves. And then the second period comes along. You nose changes in the score. Only 10 shots to see in that frame. 5 apiece for both teams, the Otters and the Kitchener Rangers. And it brought us to the third. And it's that who's going to get that next goal? And we already talked about Adam Maskrin, who would result in the game's first star. Mascarin able to put his team back up by 2.
Center ice they come. The Rangers into the zone. Morellis from the near side wall. Turns on for Mascarin. Has a man in front. Tries to give. Deflected in.
Yeah, Mascarin going for a pass to the front and caught Timpano cheating just a little bit. And as he was looking to cut off the pass in front of the crease, it was sliding to his left. The puck goes off his right skate and trickles into the goal for a 3-1 lead. But the Otters, again, answering quickly, and they really started to bring it after that goal in this third period. And at 5:50, you love the hard work from Joe Mack, who set this up. The dump in from the neutral zone. He goes, recovers the puck, sends it out to the front. Patrick Fellows and Christian Gurney. And this is all Joe Mack, a rookie, coming in using his big frame and beating out 2 defenders, out-muscling 2 defenders to get that puck and create this offensive chance.
Joe Mack sends it on in, and he'll chase after it. Leaves it for Patrick Fellows, trying to bring it to the front. Here's Gurney, and he scores! Feel the Gurn. Forecheck on for Erie, and the Otters making a 1-goal game once again.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that you like to see. And Chris Hartsburg spoke about this to the media and to Victor Fernandez just a couple days ago about that hard work, and they want to see that from their forwards because things aren't going to come easy like they have the last couple of years. You're going to need some hard work, some forechecking, and that attack onto pucks, into puck carriers, and winning puck battles. Joe Mack did it, and it was that's one for a coach's highlight reel. Leads the goal for Christian Gurney, as Gurney, he's been the Otters' leading goal scorer so far, on his 3rd now of the season, but it just wasn't enough. The Otters, 11 shots on goal. They came close. Even the goaltender pulled in they spent an entire 2 minutes of a power play in that third period in the Kitchener zone, but were just unable to come away with that tying goal. But the Otters, a bit of a slip to start, but it's a long season. We're just getting into the month of October, and with the Otters 1-3-1, sitting at 4th in the Midwest Division for now, but a lot of teams are kind of spinning their tires at the beginning of the year and finding their way. You look at the London Knights sitting back in 5th place. The Mississauga Steelheads still looking for their first win of this season in the Central Division. One of the favorites to win the Eastern Conference, as they've slipped a little bit as well. But it's just October 4th, and the Otters still have 63 more games to play. So we got a lot of hockey to go. We also have a lot more show coming up. This is the Otters Hour. And when we come back, we're going to sit down and chat with Kyle Maximovich and Taylor Radish. And we'll get a little in-depth and learn a little bit more about these 2 guys, 2 mainstays on the Otters lineup here into a 4th season since being drafted in the same draft by the Otters. So we're going to catch up with them right after this. You're listening to the Erie Otters Radio Network right here on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260.
Over the years, technology has greatly improved the productivity of the business office. From faxes and copiers to multifunction printers, now we just don't know how to get things done without them. That means you need a reliable printer copier and a dependable service plan. That's why you should trust Cooper Business Machines. They are Erie's only authorized dealer for sharp document systems. And most importantly, they'll maintain your machine so that it continues to, well, work. Just like your car, it needs regular maintenance and parts need to be replaced regularly. If your copier isn't properly maintained or you're not getting toner in a timely fashion, then you've been reminded of what it's like to work in the dark ages. Don't wait any longer. Your business requires dependability. Shouldn't you expect the same? Cooper Business Machines, Erie's only authorized sharp dealer and service provider. Helping you get back to business since 1980. Online at cooperbusinessmachines.com or call 456-7585.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like Lucky You, with progressive top prizes.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
An Erie landmark since 1953, Nunzi's Place serves generous portions of great food at reasonable prices. Family owned for almost 60 years, Nunzi's prepares the finest Italian cuisine in Erie. Come see why the Erie Times News said Nunzi's is known for food that tastes good. Nunzi's Place, located at 2330 East 38th Street near the Bayfront Connector. To call for reservations or place an order for takeout, call 825-2940. Nunzi's, known for Italian food that tastes good since 1953.
As more and more companies offer their employees a choice of health plans, more and more people are deciding UPMC Health Plan is the best choice. With affordable in-network access to UPMC and other doctors and hospitals in your community, plus award-winning customer service, it's no wonder UPMC Health Plan is the fastest-growing health plan in the region. So when your employer gives you a choice this year, make the choice more and more people are making. Choose the best. Choose UPMC Health Plan.
It's on now. Don't miss the multi-million-dollar Columbus Day 50 to 65% off spectacular at Arthur F. Schultz, 26th and Cascade in the heart of Erie. Find incredible furniture and appliance savings throughout the store. Buy interest-free for 4 full years at all home furnishings. Get absolutely free delivery plus a tax discount. Only at Arthur F. Schultz. The Columbus Day Spectacular is one of the biggest holiday sales of the year in the home furnishings industry. Receive the highest quality, the best selection, free delivery, the lowest prices of the year, and a tremendous financing offer, plus a tax discount. Now is the time to buy. You'll save 50% and more on brands like Lazy Boy, Simmons Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, Liberty, Best, and England. The list goes on and on. Buy interest-free for 4 full years. That's right, 4 years. Delivery and setup are free, plus a tax discount. Only at Arthur F. Schultz. It's the multi-million-dollar Columbus Day 50 to 65% off spectacular. On now at Arthur F. Schultz, 939 West 26th and Cascade in the heart of Erie.
Wednesday is the new night for the Blacklist as Red fights to get back on top. Then, on a powerful SVU, Benson must defend herself from an unthinkable allegation.
Have you been physically abusing your son?
And on Chicago PD, the mastermind behind a deadly bombing could be one of CPD's own. Can they find him before time runs out? All new tonight on NBC.
Followed by Erie News Now at 11. The Erie Otters and Erie Sports Now are teaming up this hockey season to bring you Erie Otters Total Access. Every Sunday at 11 a.m. on WICU, Gary Trapshow and John Lydig take you on the ice and into the locker room. You'll hear from the players and coaches, plus highlights from every game and a look at what's happening around the OHL. It's Erie Otters Total Access, Sundays at 11 on WICU.
The kids are back in school, and it won't be long before the crisp fall days give way to winter. How's your furnace holding up? Now's the best time to call on the George Winston Company to give it a thorough check and get it tuned up for winter. Or perhaps consider a new energy-efficient replacement. You could see a very nice reduction in your heating bill, and you'll have the peace of mind knowing that the installation was done right with the George Winston Company, the plumbers on Plum Street. Call 454-0752. 454-0752. PA contractor number 061409.
Hanging out with Taylor Radish and Kyle Maximovich of the Erie Otters, part of Otters Hour here on your new home for Erie Otters hockey. CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260. Guys, thanks for stopping by, hanging out for a little bit here on the first edition of Otters Hour. I know we were talking a little off air before we got going, but kind of the first question is, when you look at you guys and been here for 4 years with the Erie Otters, how do you get to this point, and how do you start getting into hockey the way it is?
I guess when I was little, just seeing my brother Darren going to his practices and just watching him skate every day, and my parents have been a big influence as well. My dad, he's always loved the game, and the rest of our family has as well. And just I guess just seeing my brother play, and my dad's influence was definitely the biggest reason why I started playing the game.
For me, it was kind of my brother was a big influence. When he was younger, he kind of got the option to play baseball or hockey, and him not knowing too much about either of them, he picked hockey. I guess just from Canada, I guess everyone plays hockey, but I followed in his footsteps. I chose hockey as well, and started skating when I was 3 or 4 years old, and then my dad, he's helped me out. He put me in camps and that, and I've kind of grown from there, and it's got me here.
What was it like watching your brothers when they moved on? They were playing with the Erie Otters. I know Darren kind of got started and Quinn the year after that, but watching those guys and the guys that you said influenced you, to move into the OHL, and then ultimately you end up on the same team.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I was always hanging with Taylor at the games. Our brothers played together, and we'd make the road trips down to see him, and it was pretty cool to watch them and to be able to play with him as well. It was pretty awesome. I played on the line with my brother, and we also played with Pat Fellows. We call ourselves the Maxies. I know he doesn't like that, but yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool to play with him, and yeah, we had good chemistry and everything, and it was a big influence on me.
Yeah, for me, I remember still one of the first times I came down, it was, I think Erie was playing Guelph and didn't make the playoffs that year, and they went to overtime, and it was a pretty big crowd with the last game, and everyone knew it, and the town knew it was the last game, and I think they tied it up with like 30 seconds left and won in overtime, and I guess that was really my first big experience of seeing what the crowd was like here, and it's definitely my time here has been awesome, and to experience that with Kyle, just from playing minor hockey as well with him, and I guess my brother as well, it's been a great experience, and I've really enjoyed it.
I was going to ask you guys about the Marlies too, but getting back to what you said, Taylor, with the crowd and just how loud they came. But we saw them in the postseason, but your first real, I guess, introduction to it would have been when you guys came out for the center ice face-off that one year in the playoffs after you guys got drafted. But what is it like being on the ice and just hearing these 6,000 plus just roaring every time you guys take to the ice?
It's special. I mean, there's no other crowd like that in the OHL, and to be able to have great fans and fans be so passionate, it's pretty cool. I mean, you never see fans get louder for a fight than a goal. So yeah. It's pretty cool and very special to be a part of.
Yeah, it's all the games I've been here. It's been pretty remarkable. Just when you're at a home game for us, it's definitely way louder than the games on the road. And I guess especially last year with the run we had, it was pretty cool to see the attendance we had, and especially coming down to the London series and the Mississauga series. Those were, I guess, almost sellouts every game. So it was cool for us, and it definitely helps the team out a lot.
Aaron Cooney here on Otters Hour, hanging out with Taylor Radish and Kyle Maximovich. It's the Otters Hour show on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260. And as we mentioned right before that, but you guys play in minor hockey together and with the Toronto Marlies. That experience, did you ever see, well, and that year, Taylor, I remember being in the draft room with these guys, and so they never thought you were going to get there, down to where the Otters, I think they were at 18th on the board, and before they took you. But what was it like watching and then seeing kind of the names go by, and then Erie, where your brother's at, and where you guys, you've been traveled a couple times, and you get drafted by the Otters?
It's kind of nerve-wracking times it's just the first really experience and coming in the league, just you kind of see your name get put in spots on Twitter and social media and things like that, and I kind of had expectation of where I was going to go, and my name kind of slid down a couple picks, and we started coming to some teams that are far away from home, like Sault Ste. Marie, North Bay, and I guess my mom didn't really care where I went, but I guess she just thought she knew Sault Ste. Marie and North Bay were far, and I guess once I slid by them as well, just going to Erie was a dream come true for them and for me and the rest of my family, just going to one rink instead of two, and just me being able to play with my brother for the first time in my life, and just to see him every day was a great time for me, and it was definitely way better for me and my family.
For you guys, you and Taylor getting some time together in the same line to start this year. I don't know, Taylor's a little banged up right now, but does it bring back some of the memories from those Marlies days, you guys playing together, and also winning a championship that season?
Definitely. I mean, we played together, I don't know, since 7, 8 years old, playing around the ranks, and then finally playing together with Michael McLeod from Mississauga. We were on a line, and it's great to be playing with him now. I mean, we definitely got some chemistry going, and even last year in the championship game, it was pretty cool to play with him and Anthony Sorelli, surrounded by NHL guys like that, and it's always cool, it's always fun.
What's it like leaving home and then even as a 16-year-old and coming to Erie? How the billets treat you? How do what's the reception like coming in and moving away from home? Because I know you guys, his decision, I think your parents stepped in. They didn't want you to staying with your brothers and learning to be on your own.
more like a coach's decision as well, as long as my parents, just a maturity thing, just to kind of grow up on my own and to get away from Darren, and I guess the same thing for Kyle as well. And I've been with the same Billet family for my 4th year now, and I've really enjoyed it. They got an awesome house, and they're very welcoming to me, and I guess the 3 roommates that I've had, and I can't thank them enough.
Yeah, for me it was pretty nervous coming in, but having your brother on the team helped. But I had great roommates that kind of worked me in. I lived with Trent Fox, who's now on Mississauga, and Travis Dermott.
Mm-hmm.
So they were really outgoing guys. They really helped me settle in and took me out of my comfort zone to introduced me to the Otters and be on the team. So it was pretty easy transition, but for most guys, they have a tough time with getting used to the food or getting used to the beds and everything, but I had a great transition and it worked out well.
You guys spent some time at some NHL rookie camps for the season started. T with Tampa Bay and kind of got the invite with Chicago. What was it like going to that, guys? Because it was funny when I got an email from Wes, because he was on the Blackhawks website, and there was the shot of you 3, but you, Alex DeBrincat, and Darren Radish all in a row there. But to get an experience like that, play in Traverse City, and even along with some of the guys that you've been with the last couple of seasons, what was the experience like for you?
Oh, it was pretty cool. It was, we started off, we flew into Chicago, and they put us in a nice hotel, and then went to the rink for physicals and that, and then kind of jumped right into it. We didn't really get too much rest before the tournament, but it was a great experience. I mean, it's a lot different play, a lot faster than what I'm used to, but I thought I adjusted well and had a decent showing. But it's definitely easier when you got familiar faces there.
Your trip was a little different going to Tampa right around the time when the Hurricanes were rolling through. They'd evacuate you guys, right? And they ended up canceling that first tournament. What was that experience like heading down there, seeing these storms on their way, and then where they take everybody to?
Yeah, it was a little different with before we even left. It's my family and some of the guys I knew that were going there were kind of worried about when this storm was going to come, because none of us really knew. And we flew down there. We had a couple days to practice, and the organization took really good care of us and the rest of the actual team that lives there as well. They got us on a plane the day before it came, and they filled the plane up with all the players and pets, relatives, friends, things like that. They just got us out of there, and we went to Nashville for a 3-game tournament against them. And we played pretty well we have a young prospect group, and for the guys we had there, we did great, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit as we're here hanging out with Taylor Radish and Kyle Maximovich on the Otters Hour, here on your new home for Otters hockey, CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260. Guys, I'm with you too, but we spend a lot of time on the bus, on the road. There's some good amount of travel. What do you guys do to pass the time? There's some of those trips, the long one from Ottawa we just had. We got Sault Ste. Marie still to go later in February, but how do you pass time sitting there on the bus for that many hours?
It's tough. It is tough. It's long road trips, but we normally download a game, and right now I think we're all playing a game called One More Brick, so we're all ripping that right now. I got the high score.
No, you don't.
Download games, play cards, stay up and talk. It's tough. You got to distract yourself because it's such a long road trip, but those are some of the things. You watch movies as well. The rookies bring movies.
I was going to ask you about that, and you guys were rookies too at one time, but now that you're past that stage and you're the ones picking the movies, what have the last couple of years been like? Picking movies, how it's gone, and do you have any empathy for it? Do you feel bad for them at all? Because you guys were in the same boat at some point too, where the older guys are picking the movies and they don't like what you brought, so it's like you can't read minds.
Yeah, I guess it's way better being our situation now. With when you're a rookie, you get kind of nervous if you even forget a movie or bring a bad one. That the older guys will be on your back, and I guess I've been lucky enough 3 years now to been able to be on the other side of that, and It's a lot easier for sure.
At least this last trip, they went to family video, right?
Yeah,
we had some
they
new
got
movies on.
They got some new releases. I know we've watched Taken a couple times. That movie's like banned from our bus. Yeah, we don't like watching it anymore.
What's the other one?
Date Night.
Yeah.
Taken and Date Night. Yeah.
Like we saw once and banned it.
Was it Insidious? One of those last year too.
Yeah, we watched that.
That's it.
I can't watch the scary movies because I won't sleep. So I skipped those. But Taken's the same way because we would watch that all the time, at least once or twice a season when I was doing basketball back in college with the basketball team. That was always on. But our coach was a huge fan back at Point Park of Bruno. So he would bring that in from time to time. That would pop on. Sick guy. This dude. Hey, Bob Rigger, he was the man. Looking around town, best restaurant for the boys here in Erie.
I guess we're both on the same. I don't know if you're thinking it too.
I'm thinking we could say it on 3 if you want.
If we mess up the. Yeah.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oyamas. Yeah.
Sushi.
Yeah. Hibachi.
What do you go for sushi wise?
Chicken and shrimp, double fried rice, no vegetables.
I like.
You get more rice.
Yeah. I'm saying
that's a better move. You've done this a couple times.
I go steak and shrimp, double fried rice, no veggies with a salad. That's my go-to meal.
And a root beer for me.
And maybe a shrimp tempura roll. Okay. If I'm really hungry, shrimp tempura. If not, then I'll leave that out.
What about teams still do movie nights? What was the latest edition team went and saw?
I wasn't here, but I remember the clown one.
Yeah, no, we went to we saw it. Okay. It was a pretty scary movie. Yeah. So I got pretty scared. We just watched one recently. I can't. American Assassin, I think it's called.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was a pretty good movie. Yeah.
They used to go back and get the guy that he trained before.
Yeah.
I just kind of watch that. Aaron Cooney here. It's the Otters Hour. We're hanging out with Kyle Maximich and Taylor Radish from the Erie Otters. Getting back to killing some time on the bus, but Netflix. What are you binge watching here this time around?
I'm actually just got into that the football show, Last Chance U, with the community college from guys that have either not made it to D1 school or guys that have been just sent down for, I guess, doing bad things in school, getting caught or getting in trouble. And it's a pretty good show. It's kind of motivates you to be better every day, and I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm watching The Office right now. Yeah, for the second time.
Did you say second time around?
Second time around. It's always makes me laugh. I think I might watch How I Met Your Mother next.
Okay.
I've been eyeing that, so.
I still have to get into that. That's one I've avoided the last little bit because I started watching Louis. If you know Louis C.K. is a comedian, he's hilarious. And they're taking it off Netflix at the end of the month, so I'm trying to power through to get through it. Warm-up music. This was actually funny because I've caught you guys a couple times even on Saturday heading out, and we got the throwback 90s gangster rap going on. Is that the theme for this year, or is it just part of the mix?
I think it's just part of the mix. Coop makes our mix, so we kind of just give it to him, and he does his magic with it. But I think we should turn it up a little bit louder too. I like when it's nice and loud.
When you look at the speakers, unfortunately they're not pointed at you at the ice. You guys have the things. It goes right into fans. So if we turn it up, then we get. It's blowing out the fans. But
I'm more of a country guy. I wish we threw more of that into there. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you guys this, and it's not to be looking territorialized, but it's with Canadians. You guys love country music.
Or beer
coming up.
Just goes with it.
It's like is that Boots and Hearts?
Yeah,
that's the big festival there.
Big country concert.
Okay,
3 or 4 day event. I know we've both been there twice, and we've camped together both times. Yeah. It's fun, but after being at 10 a couple days, you miss your own.
Yeah, it's tough with no shade. You're just in middle of a field camping, so it does a beating on you.
Couldn't do it, man.
Yeah.
Country music? No, I couldn't do it. I changed. I'm a little different taste. The other night after the opener, you guys got the championship rings. When you got to, did you wear it the rest of the night? Did you take it out to dinner after the game or anything?
I took it to show my parents after the game, so I took it to show them, and I kind of gave it to them so they can bring it to my room and put it in a special spot. The rings are pretty special. They're massive. I didn't.
It's a lot heavier than I thought it was. I had no idea what we were going to end up getting, but it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Put it on there.
I heard Jim and Roy were in a kind of a battle of rings, thing like that. So
I know
it's pretty cool now.
I forget which way they went, but the way it turned out, like I thought it was perfect. I looked at some of the other ones, like Seattle's is okay, but I thought ours was way better.
Ours is awesome.
Seattle's.
It's awesome.
It's heavy for a little thing.
It is. We'll wrap things up here. We're hanging out with Taylor Radish and Kyle Maximovich on the Otters Hour, on your new home for Otters hockey, CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260. You guys, the last thing, because we got another big trip coming up next week, and they did this last year. I think Wes was kind of planned it around, and there was the 70s trip that we did up north, but this time we're doing movie characters. You got anything in mind for the trip next week to Owen Sound, and what you're going to be dressing up as?
Taylor, do you got anything?
I know we were just talking briefly before. I'm not really too sure what I'm going to be. Maybe go with the classic, just Superman, or these guys laughed at me when I said I'll be the Hulk, but I guess we'll see when it comes to trip day.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a secret, but my team was kind of planning on being the Avengers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we all got our costumes set up, but we'll see how it turns out.
Because I actually got to check in with with Wes and our kind of group, so we got to figure something out.
Yeah, you guys are in it too. I forgot about that.
We're part of it, but no. When I was thinking myself, I had to do something with glasses. Like I was going to be like Napoleon Dynamite.
That'd be awesome.
Awesome. You know who to be.
I still have the other glasses of Dude McLovin. I can go bring those back. I don't know how well I'll be able to see, but I could throw it on just for that.
Yeah, that'd be classic.
Hey guys, thanks for stopping by, for hanging out for a little bit, for
thank you.
Talking here in the first edition of Otters Hour. That's Taylor Radish and Kyle Maximovich. You're listening to the Erie Otters Radio Network on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260.
Don't have any more room in here.
We do know there is a difference when it comes to sheds. See the difference at Shanty Genuine Sheds. They've now added an additional location to better serve you. Visit them at the corner of West 26 and Mill Fair Road near Walmart. They have basic to customized sheds and garages built to last. Shanty Sheds will build any size, style, or color shed or garage you need. They use thicker lumber that's built to last with all styles of exterior sidings. Shanty Sheds built to order, built to last. Visit them on 29th and Pittsburgh Avenue or at their newest location on the corner of West 26th and Mill Fair Road. Also, see their beautiful and colorful polywood outdoor furniture. Shanty Sheds will deliver to you or build right there in your backyard. So stop shopping. Get to Shanty Sheds on 29th and Pittsburgh Avenue or at their newest location on the corner of West 26th and Mill Fair Road. Visit shantysheds.com. Shanty Genuine Sheds. Built to order. Built to last.
An Erie Otters game is the best way to bring everyone together. Gather your family and friends or plan an office or work outing at the best entertainment value in Erie. Groups of 10 or more can enjoy discounted ticket prices with multiple seating options available. Ask one of our group sales associates today about a group outing and even upgrade into our meeting room suites for the most stylish experience at the Erie Insurance Arena. Otters sales associates are standing by to take your call and plan your night out during regular office hours at 814-455-7779.
At Tim Hortons, we've got something new. Because we know change is exciting. Change is good. Change is delicious. Try our new hash brown sticks. Golden and crispy, they're perfect for dipping and sharing. Pair them with our new Western Omelet breakfast sandwich. Get both for just $3.49. Only at Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants for a limited time. Offer valid with biscuit, English muffin, and classic bagel breakfast sandwiches with protein, Western omelet, and cheese.
CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260 present the Halloween Thriller 80s Dance. Friday, October 20th at Rainbow Gardens. It's the perfect scary way to kick off your Halloween. Memories of Motion will take you back to the era of Thriller and Ghostbusters. Make sure you come in your Halloween best because we'll have first place prizes for best costumes, like Best Female, sponsored by Barbado Law Office, Best Male, Best 80s, and Best Overall Costume. Tickets Tickets are on sale now at Presque Isle Beer for Less, West 12th, just east of Peninsula, where the drive-thru is always open. Tickets are just $13, cash only, and you must be 21 or older. You know that this one will sell out quickly, so don't wait. Get your tickets for the Halloween Thriller 80s Dance, Friday, October 20th at Rainbow Gardens. Sponsored by Bud Light and CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260.
$99.88 or $149 a month on a brand new Mirage or G4? Take your pick. Come see the sporty Mitsubishi Mirage or the sleek G4 sedan. Both get up to 40 miles per gallon and both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Own one today for only $99.88 or $149 a month. Only at Interstate Mitsubishi, 1/2 mile south of the Mill Creek Mall on Route 99.
Prices prior to tax, title, and license fees will require financing through dealer or indirect lending service.
Okay, you about ready to get your first treatment?
Yes, sir.
Joanne is fighting her cancer with radiation. She's also fighting it with big data.
Wait till you see how easy this is. You're going to do great.
The Highmark Cancer Collaborative works with oncologists like Joanne's to provide the latest data on proven treatment options, giving Joanne the plan she needs to win. Creating new standards in cancer care is living proof. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield together with Allegheny Health Network. Visit highmarklivingproof.com to learn more.
The Sheraton and Courtyard Erie Bayfront Hotels are proud sponsors of the Erie Otters. Join them for their pregame and postgame celebration at the award-winning Bayfront Grill or the brand-new Shoreline Grill, located just minutes away from all the action. Let them help you fuel up for the high-energy game with their extensive menus and craft brew selections. You ought to be dining with the best. The Sheraton Erie Bayfront Grill and Courtyard by Marriott.
Hi, this is Ed Rendell. I've got to admit that I was sort of a dinosaur when it came to using social media. But my son found Epic Web Studios, and we began working with them. And they've done an incredible job with us. They've significantly increased our followers on Twitter and Facebook. They make sure that we put up the right things. They capture every good thing that I've said or done on TV and get it out real quickly. And it's been just a revelation to me, and they've been tremendous to work with.
Don't be a dinosaur. Call or text Epic Web Studios at 814-746-6987.
Back here on Otters Hour, we're coming to you live from the Erie Insurance Arena. Aaron Cooney, your host, as we move in, closing out the hour. But we're looking ahead, the week ahead for the Erie Otters, because it's going to start with the way it ended. The Otters saw the Kitchener Rangers on Saturday night, opening night here at the Erie Insurance Arena, falling 3-2, but they're going to get some revenge and get to take off and take on the Kitchener Rangers from the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium on Friday night. That's a 7:30 start. Of course, you'll hear it right here on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260. But to preview that matchup, I caught up with Mike Farwell, the play-by-play voice of the Kitchener Rangers on the radio side, and we caught up and taken a look, and also some news that just started. It just came out last night with Matthew Barnaby and the team parting ways as one of their assistant coaches. But we're going to go to Mike Farwell and catch up on the Rangers side.
Mike Farwell, play-by-play voice of the Kitchener Rangers, on the phone here with us, joining us for Otters Hour on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260. Mike, thanks for stopping on with us.
Always a pleasure, Aaron. Good to chat with you.
Looking at some news last night, Matthew Barnaby and Kitchener Rangers part ways. Is this unexpected coming around after such a great start to the season, just a couple weeks in, and all of a sudden an assistant coach out?
Yeah, I'd take it from unexpected to outright shocking. I was actually at an event last night at the University of Waterloo, and so I had my phone off, and I could feel it vibrating in my pocket, so I knew something was going on. But of course, you're not paying attention to that while you're doing your job, so to speak. Anyway, so I get out, and the news was about an hour old by that point. But yeah, this comes right out of left field to me. As you mentioned, the team's off to a nice start this year, only 2 weeks into the season, and with the organization citing philosophical differences, it's just an odd statement or position to take, because you've had this guy on your bench for a year already. You just started another year, and all of a sudden, in the early stages of the season, there's been some sort of major philosophical shift. It's incredibly curious, and when you read the release from the team, I think it's 2 lines long, and it ends with, we wish Matthew the best in his future endeavors, which anybody that's ever worked for a large company, or maybe even small companies, I don't know, but you see those emails come out every once in a while, and you know that last line never really bodes well for how the two decided to part ways. Usually it's a firing, and I don't think we're going to get any more information other than that out of the Rangers organization, but this is definitely something that comes out of left field.
Well, keeping with the coaching staff, because we're familiar with Jay McKee, a year here as an assistant with the Erie Otters, and now in his third year total and second year as a head coach. But what has been the coaching situation been like with outside of Matthew Barney, but with Jay McKee around, and how is he taken to the team and to the players?
I think he's been great, and I'd even lump Matthew Barnaby into that. These two guys and their pro experience, I think, means an awful lot to this, in particular, young team. I mean, we saw this Ranger team go through some growing pains last year, but you saw a lot of development, at least I think, in some key areas with Giovanni Volati on the back end and Riley Damiani as two youngsters as rookies on the front end really develop and mature through the season. And I think that Jay plays a huge role in that simply because of his approach. He's absolutely a player's coach. And I think when he can say, or even without saying, the players know, he had a 14-year NHL career, and you don't do that by accident. So knowing that Jay knows what it takes to make that next step, I think these players really look up to him. And I think he's been great for the team. I think he's got the right level head for it. I've noticed already in the early stages of this year that he recognizes the expectations are ramped up just a bit more, and he's putting that additional pressure on the team in terms of what's expected from them performance-wise. But I think tactically he's been sound, but more than anything, the way he relates to the players, I think, has been great for the young players on this team.
We're chatting with Mike Farwell, play-by-play voice of the Kitchener Rangers here on Otters Hour on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260. Mike, a couple off-season moves for this team, and I think the first one, poor Luko Pilka with another hip injury, but Anthony Dumont-Bouchard has stepped right in that acquisition as an overage goaltender. He's performed pretty well. He's right at the top of all the goaltending marks so far through the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, that's been a pleasant surprise. Obviously, we knew very little about Dumont-Bouchard, having come over from the Q. He was in Barrie for a moment, and then, of course, the trade was made after Barrie acquired Leo Lazarev. The Rangers were able to grab Dumont-Bouchard to try to solidify their goaltending position. As you mentioned, poor Luko Pilka, this kid just hasn't been able to catch a break. He came into this organization very highly touted, and had a tremendous start to his Kitchener Rangers and his OHL career, and then things just got derailed by a variety of injuries, and he just can't seem to catch a break with now potentially headed into his third hip surgery. It's just so unfortunate. And as far as Dumont-Bouchard goes, like I said, we didn't know anything about him coming out of the Q. We know, obviously, that he's an overage goaltender, and he's got that experience behind him. His numbers last year were good, but you don't know what you can tell from just looking at a stat sheet and looking at the numbers. So to see him play the way he has played in a brand new league in unfamiliar territory as a Quebec kid, I think he's been great, and hopefully the Rangers have a tandem right now in Dumont-Bouchard and Luke Richardson that they can kind of run with.
The other big move in big is probably the best word you can say about it, but Logan Stanley coming in, and just you look at this guy on the ice, and it's just, he's such a presence at 6'7", the long reach, physicality, the guy's got a booming shot, but to go out and pick him up from the Windsor Spitfires, defending Memorial Cup champions, Logan Stanley, what else does he add to this group that wasn't there before?
Well, you touched on it when you mentioned Memorial Cup champion Windsor Spitfires, and we know that Logan Stanley, of course, was hurt for much of the second half of last year and basically only got into that final round-robin portion of the Memorial Cup. But he oozes leadership and that championship caliber play. And then, much like I was saying with the coaching staff before and their NHL experience, you can tell that these young guys with the Kitchener Rangers kind of look up to Logan Stanley as a guy that's now accomplished everything you'd want to accomplish in a junior hockey career by winning that national championship. And when Logan Stanley played his first game for the Kitchener Rangers this season, it was in Windsor. So against his former team, he suits up for the first time after being returned from the NHL camp in Winnipeg. And the Spitfires had a bit of a tribute to Stanley up on the video board. They played some highlights, and they also had the Memorial Cup out, allowing Stanley and his former teammates to hoist it in a pregame ceremony. And one of the young players on the Rangers bench, Nick McHugh, said, this year it's our turn, boys. And it really gave, I think, these young Rangers players a chance to see what it's all about and get a glimpse of that, a taste of that, if you will. And I think it whets their appetite for what could potentially come. So, yeah, his on-ice play, I think, speaks for itself as a first-round NHL draft pick. But what you see just in terms of the character of the young man and how the other players now can sort of look up to him as a guy that's done it. He's won that Memorial Cup. There's a ripple effect, as Jay McKee has said, through the lineup, and it's both in the physical sense on the ice when you've got a big guy like that as your teammate, and it's also off the ice when you see other guys start to conduct themselves the way that Logan Stanley conducts himself.
And I want to get back to some of those young guys and mentioning a few of them, Vellotti and Damiani and McHugh, but the mileage they got of him last year and being, the mix that Kitchener had last season, has that prepared them for what could be a run this year round in what seems like a pretty open Ontario Hockey League?
I think absolutely, Aaron, and particularly when you look at a guy like Giovanni Vellotti, who, again, a rookie last year, and by the time the playoffs rolled around, granted there were injuries that contributed to this, but he was on the top pairing for the Kitchener Rangers. He was quarterbacking their power play as a barely 17-year-old in this league, and we all know how good the Owen Sound attack were last year. So when you've got the likes of Petrush Palmu and Nick Suzuki and Jonah Gadjevic, and I could go on and on about the offensive firepower on that Owen Sound team, and you're charging a rookie defenseman with trying to shut them down. I thought Vellotti grew in leaps and bounds with that team last year, and much the same could be said for Riley Damiani. He kind of came in as a player that showed you that he's got all of the tools, very responsible in his own end already as a rookie coming into this league. Enough flair offensively that he's going to be chipping in points. He's never going to be a 50-goal scorer, in my opinion, but he's a guy that's got the offensive tools to make things happen. Eventually the power play time will start coming more and more. But just a player that does things right. You can trust him on face-offs, little things like that. And I saw that progression with these youngsters last year, and I think despite the first-round elimination in the playoffs, they grew by leaps and bounds through the season last year, and that gives, I think, fans optimism for this year because, as you mentioned, the Western Conference right now is probably more wide open than it has been in a number of years. London isn't quite that same juggernaut. Obviously, the Erie Otters are a different team this year. Sault Ste. Marie is still, in the mix. Owen Sound is still going to be in the mix, but there has been a bit of a changing of the guard, and I think it leaves the door open for a team that's on the uptick of this junior hockey cycle that we know all too well. You can only go so long before you have to do a little bit of a rebuild and take half a step back. Well, the Rangers have taken those steps back, and now it seems that they're trending up as the conference is leveling out, and maybe there's opportunity there for the team.
Mike Farwell, play-by-play voice of the Kitchener Rangers. Mike, thanks for stopping on with us on Otters Hour here.
Aaron, anytime. Happy to come back and chat hockey with you. I love the game, and best of luck down there. We'll see you down the road in no time, I'm sure.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah, we'll see you on Friday.
I can't wait.
You're listening to the Erie Otters Radio Network on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260.
CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260 present the Halloween Thriller 80s Dance. Friday, October 20th at Rainbow Gardens. It's the perfect, scary way to kick off your Halloween. Memories of Motion will take you back to the era of Thriller and Ghostbusters. Make sure you come in your Halloween best because we'll have first place prizes for best costumes, like Best Female, sponsored by Barbado Law Office, Best Male, Best 80s, and Best Overall Costume. Tickets are on sale now at Presque Isle Beer for Less, West 12, just east of Peninsula, where the drive-thru is always open. Tickets are just $13, cash only, and you must be 21 or older. You know that this one will sell out quickly, so don't wait. Get your tickets for the Halloween Thriller 80s Dance, Friday, October 20th at Rainbow Gardens. Sponsored by Bud Light and CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260.
Did you know that United Way of Erie County has a bold vision to reduce by 1/3 the number of families living below the self-sufficiency mark in our community? By starting with a foundation of emergency and basic needs, United Way helps empower every person to reach milestones that help on the path to success. You have a part to play in reducing poverty and improving community conditions, whether you volunteer by mentoring a young person or joining a neighborhood community watch group. Be a caring adult and find opportunities to give back at getconnectederie.org.
Interstate Mitsubishi is now selling the Outlander Sport for its lowest price ever, $16,988. That's almost $5,000 less than its original MSRP of $21,890. For just $16,988, you can own an Outlander Sport with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, 7 airbags, and 18-inch alloy wheels. This is the best deal on a brand new CUV you'll find anywhere, and it's only at Interstate Mitsubishi, 1/2 mile south of the Mill Creek Mall on Route 99.
Price and prior to tax, title, and license fees.
Are you about ready to get your first treatment?
Yes,
Joanne is fighting her cancer with radiation. She's also fighting it with big data.
Wait till you see how easy this is. You're going to do great.
The Highmark Cancer Collaborative works with oncologists like Joanne's to provide the latest data on proven treatment options, giving Joanne the plan she needs to win. Creating new standards in cancer care is living proof. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield together with Allegheny Health Network. Visit highmarklivingproof.com to learn more.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like Lucky You, with progressive top prizes.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Welcome back to Otters Hour. Here, I'm Aaron Cooney. We're wrapping things up. Want to thank my guests, Mike Farwell, and also thank Taylor Radish and Kyle Maxim for stopping by with us on this first edition, which we'll be doing. We'll have a schedule out on the website. The next show coming up in 2 weeks and 2 Wednesdays. We'll see you on October the 18th, same time, 3 o'clock, 3 to 4, and we'll get everything Otters on for you, so you don't want to miss it. And we'll be taking your tweets and questions, and you can always send them into the Erie Otters, or even here on my Twitter account, so at Erie Otters or at Aaron_Cooney. And yeah, we'll answer them there. And we've been to ask the guys some of the questions that you send into us as well. If you have questions for us, a couple of the Erie Otters that join us on throughout the broadcast. But NHL season is starting up here tonight. The banner raising in Pittsburgh with the back-to-back Stanley Cup championships, a few other games around the league, and with that, take a look at some of the Otters making the jump to the NHL. I think the biggest one that we're a lot of Otters fans excited about from last year's team, but Alex DeBrincat making the Chicago Blackhawks NHL roster for their opening night Thursday. That'll be against the Pittsburgh Penguins, so I know fans are excited to see that. Dylan Stromes with the Arizona Coyotes. Connor McDavid, he'll be with the Edmonton Oilers, of course, coming off of a Art Ross and Hart Trophy winning season, and his Oilers are a favorite in just his third season to win a Stanley Cup. We knew he was going to be off to some big things and pretty quickly for Connor McDavid. Also, other NHLers from the Erie Otters that we'll see on rosters this season. Adam Pelech is with the New York Islanders. He recently signed an extension to stick with the New York Islanders. Greg McKegg making the Pittsburgh Penguins. He'll be on their opening night roster and getting things started this evening, and they take on the St. Louis Blues from PPG Paints Arena. Andre Burakovsky had that one season with the Erie Otters. He's with the Washington Capitals again. Ryan O'Reilly over with the Buffalo Sabres. Connor Brown with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And how about honorable mention, where we'll give one to Chris Knobloch, Otters head coach the last 4 seasons, and now here making the jump to the NHL and assistant coach with the Philadelphia Flyers. They take on the San Jose Sharks tonight in San Jose, so good luck to all those guys in getting their seasons off underway. Around some of the AHLers that the Otters, former Otters that maybe didn't crack the NHL roster, but they'll be playing pro hockey in the American League. Warren Fogels with the Charlotte Checkers. Anthony Sorelli and Eric Chernak with the Syracuse Crunch. Nick Baptiste, he's with the Rochester Americans, at least for now. We see him bump up as he did a few games with the Sabres. Same with Remy Ellie. He's with the Texas Stars and could be with Dallas a few games again. Travis Dermott with the Toronto Marlies. Curtis McDermott's been bouncing back and forth between the LA Kings and the Ontario Reign. Brendan Gaunce, the Utica Comets, and former Otter Hayden Hodgson just signed a tryout contract with the Cleveland Monsters. Well, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Chuck Stevens back in studio as well as we wrap things up here on Otters Hour. And we'll be back the next time around in 2 weeks. A bi-weekly show every other Wednesday from 3 to 4 o'clock for Otters Hour on your new home for Otters hockey here. As we wrap things up, you've been listening to the Erie Otters Radio Network on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260.
CBS Sports Radio. Sports Flash.
I'm Jay Berman. Let's start with baseball. In case you missed it, the American League Wild Card was a fun game. It was Tuesday night in New York. Yankees came from behind to beat the Twins. Bombers move on to the division series beginning Thursday in Cleveland against the Indians. Indians coming off a wonderful regular season. Trevor Bauer starts the opener for the Tribe. No word yet on the Yankees starter. Postseason continues tonight with the National League Wild Card game. Diamondbacks hosting the Rockies. John Gray starts for Colorado. Arizona going with Zach Greinke. First pitch just after 8 p.m. Eastern, so about 4 hours from now. The winner stays within the National League West. They'll face the Dodgers starting Friday in Los Angeles in the division series. NFL news, Titans expected to sign journeyman quarterback Brandon Weeden with Marcus Mariota battling a hamstring injury. Seahawks' Cliff Averill, who is dealing with a stinger, will likely not play Sunday. He is considered week to week. From the college game, UNLV and San Diego State players will wear red ribbon decals on their helmets during their game Saturday. They're honoring the victims of Sunday night's mass shooting on the Las Vegas Strip. Elsewhere, Notre Dame quarterback Brandon Wimbush has a walking boot on his right foot. The Irish getting set for Saturday's game at North Carolina. Basketball news, a Phoenix jury acquitted Marcus and Markieff Morris in their aggravated assault trial. Preseason rolls on tonight. Cavaliers open their preseason. They welcome in the Hawks. The Warriors will face Minnesota in Oakland. I'm Jay Berman.
Are we allowed to drive with these kegs in the car to the football game tailgate? Tapped? No? Pharrell and Avenge, 10 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Radio.
CBS Sports Radio.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I just won $1,000 from 4K a Day.
The 4K a Day giveaway on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260.
Tiki.
I'm a team player. You're a me guy.
Tierney.
I'm not laughing. I'm not trying to be a wise ass.
Truthful.
Eli, these inferior players around him, he can't make them great.
Testy.
Well, how about you modify this?
Tenacious.
The measure of the man often is determined by what they do when people aren't watching.
They're talented. They're talking. They're Tiki and Tierney.
Okay, hour number 2, back in the house here, back in the saddle. O'Reilly Auto Parts studio. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day on a Wednesday. Week 5 tomorrow, big one. We'll obviously do plenty of that tomorrow. The Pats and the Bucks in Tampa, and the Bucks can score, Pats can score. Pats can't stop anybody. It's a big game. They are hemorrhaging. Their defense is a mess. So we're starting to get to a very interesting part of the NFL season. Next segment, Charlotte Flair is going to stop by. WWE Diva. Daughter of the great Ric Flair. Ric Flair. Woo!
The nature boy.
Uh-huh.
I'm watching her now in a confrontation. It really didn't turn into a confrontation, more of a discussion.
In ring or out of ring?
Out of ring.
Okay.
By the truck in the alley with Ronda Rousey.
Oh, yeah, they're trying to create that angle now. We'll ask her about it.
She hasn't officially signed yet.
She's signed.
But she will.
Matter of time. Because she's done in the octagon, I would imagine.
Did she announce that?
I don't think that she has, but I think Dana White's hinted along the way that she's probably...
Her boyfriend or fiance...
No, they got married.
Or now her husband said something about her not going to UFC anymore, so I think she'll be good.
Oh, I think she'd be great, Ian Eagle's going to stop by as well. We do it every week here. Westwood One CBS Sports announcer. We'll see what's going on with him. And we'll get to this GM survey with the NBA. It's pretty interesting. A couple of the tweets came in that I noticed, though. This one's for you, Teak. How are you going to mention CenturyLink Field but leave out the loudest stadium in the world, Arrowhead? That one's directed to you.
I've never been. Oh, I did play at Arrowhead, but it was a subdued experience because it was right after September 11th. I mean, they were amazing. And that's obviously the best, one of the best venues in all of sports because of the tailgating that goes on.
But yet it didn't make either one of our lists.
No, it didn't.
20 options, so it's apparently not that great.
But it's also,
at least on this show, maybe we missed one.
But I also included places that had huge games, big events that had happened there. The Chiefs have been good, but they haven't had that big game there in a while. But, yeah, so my experience with Arrowhead, it was subdued. I mean, usually you go on the Arrowhead, it's a sea of red, and they are not vicious, but they are loud on your case. It was respectful, obviously, because of what had happened.
Totally different.
In New York back in 2000. So that trip was, I mean, they were dapping us up. They were giving us standing applause, and so the fans there were amazing. Given the circumstances that we experienced in it.
No doubt. You've said that a few times. This one's directed to me. I almost feel as if they're actually like looking at my resume and reacting to it. This guy, seriously, this is an uncanny, strange, in a good way, Requiem for Oblivion. That's his Twitter handle. And he says, what? No Joe Louis Arena? I lived in Detroit. Or Beaver Stadium. You know that's the first big college game I ever went to. And the Shark Tank. Lived in San Francisco. Did a few shows out there at the Tank with for playoffs here.